so this is question 2. This is more of an equations question, in that they give you information and you have to make an equation out of it. So it says that the width of a rectangular vegetable patch is x meters in length. Let me say that again. The width of a rectangular vegetable patch is x meters. The length is 5 meters longer than the width. Okay, so the width is x meters. So I'm going to call the width x, and the length is going to be that x plus 5 more. Okay, so we're going to call the other side x plus 5. Okay. Then it says write an expression in x to represent the length of the variable patch. Well, it's going to be x plus 5. So just width is equal to x, length is equal to x plus 5. Fairly straightforward there. Next question says show that the area of the patch can be expressed in the form x squared plus 5x. Well, how do you find the area of a rectangle? It's going to be length by width. Or in other words, in this case, it's going to be x multiplied by x plus 5. X multiplied by x is x squared. X multiplied by 5 is 5x. There you go. Problem solved. Okay. Let's go on to the next part. It says if the area of the patch is 36 meters, that should say meters squared by the way, find the dimensions of the garden. Okay, so we now have something that we can let the area equal. So we worked out earlier, or we showed earlier, that the area could be written as x squared plus, was it 25? Just my memory is that, but 5x, which is plus 5x, and I can say that that is equal to 36 now. Alright? So, if you're quick to notice that this is going to be a quadratic equation, right? So I'll just bring the 36 across. I get x squared plus 5x minus 36 is equal to 0. Okay? So, as it turns out, you can factorize this equation, but don't forget guys, if you're ever stuck and you don't know how to factorize, you can always use the minus b formula, which is minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. Alright, so you can use that where in this case a would be 1, b would be plus 5, and c would be minus 36. Sub it all in and you get your answers. But if you know how to factor, then you're fine. So x multiplied by x gives me x squared. Now, to remember what you're doing when it comes to factors is try and think of two numbers that will multiply together to give you minus 36, but will add together to give you plus 5. So in this case, it's going to be plus 9 and minus 4. Okay, so 9 and minus 4, because 9 multiplied by minus 4 gives me minus 36, and 9x minus 4x gives me 5x. And remember that now I could say that x plus 9 is equal to 0 and x minus 4 is equal to 0. Or in other words, x is equal to minus 9 and x is equal to 4. So what we're saying is that we have two values for x. Right? One is minus 9 and the other is 4. But if x is a unit of measurement, it can hardly be a negative unit. That's not possible. So it has to be this one. It cannot be this one. It has to be this one here. Okay? So in this case, x is equal to 4. So now I know that the width of the garden is equal to 4. And the length is going to equal 4 plus 5. Or in other words, going to equal 9 meters. Okay? So 9 meters and 4 meters is the answer to that question there. And that was the equations question.